all of our internet marketing professionals. Thanks for taking the time to take on a new topic, article marketing. This one is definitely going to take some time to complete, but I think that you'll find it interesting. It has so far been my favorite topic to cover. Have your pen and paper close by to jot down any key points that stand out, and be sure to pause and back up the moment that you feel like something is over your head or you don't understand something. It really will all make sense in the end. Now, be encouraged because article marketing is one of the best ways to generate traffic to your website. This is something that you should start to incorporate into your marketing routine immediately. So, simply put, you write an article, you submit it to article directories, and then website owners and bloggers grab your article from the article databases and use your article on their sites free of charge. That's it. So, how does that benefit you? Well, inside your article at the end, you're going to include a resource box that contains a link to your website. When that article is published, that portion must also tag along and be published too. Your link tags along with your article and you end up getting free advertising. Webmasters publish your article with your link intact on their own site. Your search engine position automatically increases because you'll gain more backlinks. Not to mention that people will have the opportunity to click on your link both from the article directory as well as the site that it's posted on. This is the basic overview for what article marketing is. Now we're going to get into some detailed tips for you to keep in mind. Each tip that we touch on will help to bring more light to your complete understanding of how and why article marketing is so effective. Tip 1, do your keyword research. One of the most important things that you can do to make sure that your articles do well is keyword research. Since people use keywords to search for information in search engines like Google, you'll want to target appropriate keywords if you wish to show up at the top of the results pages. You can find relevant keywords in many different ways, but the easiest way is to use the Google Research tool. We will put that hyperlink up on the screen, so pause the video and write it down exactly as you see it. Then simply type in a keyword for your website, and Google will give you many keyword ideas. Google also gives you the numbers that tells you how often people search for each term. Another important piece of the puzzle is figuring out how much competition there is for each keyword. If you're targeting words that have too much competition, it's going to be harder for you to reach the top of the search engine results pages. Don't worry about that. It's easy to figure out. Simply go to Google and type in your keywords surrounded by a quotation, and then the results that pop up are other sites that are specifically targeting that term as well. So now that you have these keywords, you can use them to give you a basis for your articles. It's easiest to choose one keyword per article and focus the topic around that keyword. Be sure to put the same term in your title as well. Number 2. Write your articles for the reader and the search engines. There are many people who think that in order to rank highly in search engines, they need to stuff their keyword in their article an excessive amount of times. This is definitely not the best way to attract readers or get traffic to your site. We talked earlier about how advanced search engines are with picking up on content. Well, they can also tell if you're just stuffing your keyword into your article. Their main goal is to provide a good user experience for people who use their search engine, and your main goal is to get people to your website. It's much better to weave your keywords in and out more naturally. This will serve both the search engines and your readers. There's no set keyword density that works well, but many experts suggest that you stick to around 2 to 5%. So for every 100 words, you would include that keyword about 2 to 5 times. It just makes sense that you would strive to provide the good content that the search engines will like and that the people will find useful when they visit your website. Tip number 3, submit to the right article directories. There are many article directories, but not all of them are worth your time. Since you're trying to get traffic to your website, you want to find the very best ones. It can be hard to choose since the search engine's favor for these directories seems to kind of change all the time. Still, there are a few that you can always count on. These include ezinearticles.com, goarticles.com, articledashboard.com, and buzzle.com. If you open an account at these different directories and start a regular submission schedule, you'll find that you start to get visitors to your website. Since these are people who are looking for exactly what you're offering, your conversions should also be great as well. Tip number 4, focus on your author's resource box. One of the most important article marketing tips that you can follow is to focus on your author's resource box. This is your takeaway for your site, whereas the actual article body is your give to the directory. Your author's resource box should contain a compelling reason for people to continue onto your website. You may talk a little bit about yourself, but it really has to be more about the reader and what he or she wants. So for example, if your website is offering a solution for people suffering from acne, you want to give them a reason to visit. Clearly, you need to let them know that you have the answer that they're looking for in order to get them to your website. A huge part of crafting a great resource box is including one or more links to your website. Different directories have different rules about this, but the standard is to allow you to include 2 links. You want to surround these links in what is called anchor text. This is simply a way for you to name the link to let the search engines know exactly what your site is about. So if you want the search engines to know your site is about acne treatments, you would type it in like this. And this will help to boost your rankings for the keyword best acne treatment. Tip number 5, submit many articles. There are webmasters who think that they can boost their search engine rankings and get tons of article directory visitors to their site just by submitting an article or 2. If only that were true. Unfortunately, this is not the case at all. You need to sustain an active level of submission to stay at the top of search engines. That doesn't mean that you need to spend your life writing articles. As long as you're consistent in your efforts and don't stop at just a few articles, you'll likely see great results. Still, those who submit many articles over a long amount of time usually see higher levels of traffic. You'll find that the number of articles that you need to submit really depends on the niche that you're in. There are some niches out there where just 1 or 2 articles a month will do. There are other niches where it's ultra competitive, so you'll need to submit more articles more often. The recommendation by easyarticlemarketing.com is to try to submit 1 article per week, every week. If that's too much, then shoot for 2 articles per month. The key is just to be consistent.